So today we're going to be setting up a maze that this ball is going to bounce through that can make us lots of money. First we need to buy a block, and this is an angle block here, so we put it in the path of the ball, and it bounces off, and every time it bounces off of it, we get a little bit of money. So thankfully the first 3 blocks are free thanks to tutorial mode, but if we merge these together then we get a different block entirely. This one has a little flipper that gets a little whack like that, kind of like the door stopper thingies, and then there's a little bit more. So we might as well just keep this going and then get a few more things, and we can get 2 of them right next to each other, which is working even better. And if we place it like this, then the ball bounces backwards. So everything gets hit twice. Even better. But if we merge 2 2s together, then we get a 3, which is a flipper going the other way for even more money. And we are already earning quite a bit, so this is very good. Might as well just keep this going. We have a 3, and then those become a 4. So it's actually another angle. Very interesting. And we can also condense this so the ball bounces through even quicker. As soon as we get a new one. There, so now the money rate goes up even more. And we can also upgrade the ball income over here, so it's 1.1 instead of just 1. But let's go ahead and just keep merging blocks because better blocks mean more money. So we have 3s and then a 4, and then this 4 can become a 5, which is actually a flipper going to the side. So it seems like the best thing is gonna have a few of everything. So we can have the 2 and the 3 going on the same path. So now we're earning a whole lot of money at once. A little bit more of this, and we can also add a chance to crit for even more money. A 2.4% chance. It would be nice to get it so it eventually uses all of these little pieces here, but this is the little spot that the ball comes out of. So it would take quite a bit to get it through everything, but I think that would make for a very satisfying maze. We can get it going all the way this way, or at least as far as it can, with 2s on the top, 3s on the bottom. We should get more things pretty soon here. I think we can trade in these ones for level 4 to go that way, but we can also add a second ball. So now they both go at the same time, and it's working out pretty well. And we can also get another map with even more income if we get to 1,000,000 monies. But before that, we can also get a chance to triple our income, and a bit more ball multiplication, and a few more blocks. So right now, leading up to this, the entire top row is 2s. But let's just go ahead and swap those out for 3s. Maybe all of them, I think, because those give even more money. And also up the crit chance a little bit more. Would like to see the 5 crit because that's giving 22 monies. But here we already have 1,000, so we can actually increase the ball speed ever so slightly. At least 1,000 is a lot of money to spend on blocks. So now it's an entire row of level 3 blocks. Although if we sacrifice some of these to get 4, and then 5, and then another 5 to put the 6, becomes a flap going the other way. That gives 47 every time. Really hoping it can get way more satisfying than this because we're just getting started. But let's also add another ball because that's more income that way. Ooh, and there were some of the triples that happened. That's very nice. But we will need to work our way up to a block that will angle maybe down this way. I sure hope it does. But for right now, we might as well just set up this block as a barricade to bounce them all through the 3s again, which is just giving us even more money. And the 4 goes in there, but we can also get like 3s up here, 2s down here, at least for a little bit. I would merge all of these, but we still need to make money, and this is the easiest way to do that. And we are earning money so fast, we are already well in our pace to getting 10,000 monies. So just a little more than that, and we can get ball number 4. Not really sure where we're getting fresh ones of these, but it all is good. Although I think now it's time that we merge some of these more just to see what the block is past level 6. So 4, 5, and 6, and 7. Aha! Now we can see it bounce back up this way. So I think the best way that we do this is creating sort of like a spiral that the blocks can go through. But of course we are back to earning very little. But at least these 7 blocks earn 96. That is very good. A little bit more merging later. It is kind of crazy how fast we're collecting money. The money is overlapping so much, but the 7 block minute triples give 287. So let's get our chance for triple above 1%, and then above 2%, 3, which gives us very little to buy another block with. But at least we are earning plenty of money to make up for it. And then maybe when we get to level 9, or maybe 10, it's a angle going from up to right. So that would work out even better. But now we have 3 little angles here that are working very nicely. Bring everything around, and then it goes that way. And then might as well just bounce it off of every block that we have. So it goes through and out on the same side that it comes in at. Which I really wonder how it would work to get one of, like, every block. Because it seems like to make the most amount of money, we need one of each. I also didn't realize that they were going up here. That kind of just happened on its own. But at least it works out well for us. And then I want to get another thing of 3 before we merge them to make a 4 and then a 5. Oh, and the 3 blocks in the way. Didn't realize that. But now the blocks are getting expensive. 3,000 for a single one. So here, since the ball income upgrade is still pretty cheap, let's upgrade that as much as we can. So now the 7 blocks are earning 100 apiece. And that's before tripling. There, 356! Even better. It is also interesting when the balls make it through and then some of them just like disintegrate and then start anew. Like both of those did. So I feel like we can't keep the balls trapped in the maze entirely, but we can get close. Either way, both of these and a 5 that can go right here. It would be kind of funny to keep the balls like trapped in an endless cycle. I think we could actually set that up. So actually, if we move these over here like so, then they can go up this way and then around that way and then another little loop or something and then down here and then over here. It's a very interesting like reverse order almost that these blocks evolve in, because the 1 goes down here which then goes to the 5 and then 4 and 3, but then before that can be a 2 and then the 8 is probably the one that sticks out if it was here, if it sticks out this way. It's all very interesting. So we go ahead and save up 50,000 coins there, which gives us 5 new blocks. Whoop! Which I guess kind of sends them in a bit of an interesting arrangement. Not quite what we're looking for, but we go ahead and do that. And then, oh, never mind. The 6 is the one that goes this way. So it might be the 8 piece that goes around this way. But at least we have more bigger money making blocks. And the cheapest upgrade now is ball speed. So we should probably buy a few more of those. So they're going about 10% faster. Although the suckiest thing about merging to make bigger blocks is that we lose the majority of blocks that we have. So I'm not really sure if it's worth it to have more blocks or less of the higher ones. But at least we can work our way back to getting a few of them bit by bit. So now the chance to crit can be 11%, and then the ball income can be times 2 almost. I would say I eventually hope that we get more than just level 1 blocks to start with, but we do also kinda need these at like all times. So that's just part of the struggle, I guess. Although that also means it takes even longer to afford even a single block. But pricier blocks are always going to be better. So we go ahead and save up 200,000 and that should get us like 8 blocks, I hope. 2, 4, 6, oh, 7. And then you go down there and then we make another one of these, but we need another 4 something or other. So I might as well do this and then this. So less blocks, but ones that make more money. Although it's actually a little surprising how crucial this one really is. But let's go ahead and get the ball income to times 2. Now I do wonder, instead of buying more blocks right now, if it'd be more beneficial to increase the crit chance or the triple crit chance, because those are both the cheapest upgrades by far, and it doesn't increase too terribly bad, so we can get it almost to 20% crit chance, and then triple income can be raised to 5%, which we are seeing some overlap for some of them, so that's good news. Would like to see that on the 7 most of all, but we'll take the occasional crit off the 7. We wait a little bit longer where we get 600,000. So that should give us plenty of fuel for blocks, where we can get, is this 14 of them? 2, 4, 6, 12 blocks. Well, that still works. Should get us quite a bit of a ways towards the next upgrade. And you know what? We can make this 4 or 5 and still use all the pieces here if we just arrange them like so. So it's more of a funny S pattern than the circle that we were going for. But you know what, here, might as well make these a 6. So we are starting to see some of the triples and criticals pair up at the same time. More so than before. That's very good. I'm a little bit surprised that 5% is able to make such a difference. 750,000, we could wait a little bit longer to get to the next map, but I want to see a funnier arrangement of the blocks. This might not work out exactly how I want it, but we will make the most that we can, which we could actually lead them back around now that way, just for, you know, to say that we can. But now each block costs 126,000, goodness! Although a 5th ball would help speed this up, if just a little bit. Okay, we've had 2 6 blocks here for a while, which is great for the, you know, money production part, but I really want to see if the 8 piece is what I think it is, so we'll make 2 7s and then, whoa! It's a double flipper! That's not at all what I was expecting, but that would actually work for it to go right in the middle here, and that earns 300 on its own? So the triples are almost 1,000. Oh, that's so much better. Here I was, time we get another corner. Ooh, but the triple and the crit almost earned 2,000. That's very nice indeed. Although I really want to upgrade the triple rate to be like 10%, but that's still a bit off. But at least in no time at all, we can earn yet another 1 block. Yay. So now we buy just 1 more block here. We can combine these to get 2, 3, and then 4. And now we can use both of the A flipper things. So it's like a weird little fish that's just swimming by being pelted by tennis balls. But we can also make this quicker by moving absolutely everything, whoop, not that far, to the edge right here. So we just see a lot of numbers. Can't even see the 8 thing anymore, really. But that is helping the money shoot up super fast. Plus, combined with all the critical rates, then this should get us all the money to buy more blocks even faster. Look at that, we can already buy another one, or we could buy another ball. You know what, since we have a tight circle here, might as well. So we just see a tiny little glimpse of the balls that are there. But that is a whole lot of numbers, and I love it. We should get the crit rate up to 20%, and then I would still like to get this to 10%, but it still only goes up like 0.8 every time, and the price goes way up too. It's not exactly the most satisfying looking maze, but it certainly is the most profitable. So more triple income to 7%, and I guess we could spend a little more money on the ball income because that affects all the blocks at once. So now the triple is 1,000 even, and the criticals on the 8 earn a nice amount of money if you can see that. Although if we were to get another ball, we need 1 million for that? We might as well just wait to move on to the next map. Also bonus points on the board, plus increasing difficulty. What does that even mean? I guess we could find out pretty quickly because we're already to 500,000. This is a super effective tight little circle here. Although I would like to see a 2 block to go right here. There we go, even more numbers. Not even sure really what the point is of the balls breaking, aside from the fact that you can't endlessly loop them, which is a real shame because just having a ball trapped in purgatory of making me money, that's what I live for. Really liking the rate that we collect money now. So much wasted space though, it's such a shame. Although I think we are gonna benefit greatly though from that new map that we can get to right now. We have 1 million monies, next map time. Bonus points on the board, let's go. Oh, there's X's on the board plus lightning, and we start by just buying free things again. So, ooh, that's supercharged the ball to earn more money. Without it, we earn 2, and with it, we earn 4. Oh, that's very nice. Definitely get more of those going. Maybe after... Oh, wait, there's also dead spaces that we can't put things down on. And I like the dead space where you cut limbs off things and then run around in a really cool looking spacesuit. And there's also lightning grids, which I'm guessing means that it fizzles out the ball. Oh, wait, that's earning more? It's actually earning money. Wow, we should definitely make use of that. But that just makes it way more interesting to try and figure out how to maneuver this. So let's get a bunch of blocks that we already know are good for us, like 3s and then a 4 that can go that way. And it would be nice to get through both X's because I bet that means it earns quadruple that, maybe. So without it, the 3 block earns 8. And then with it, it earns 16. Okay, so it still is only double, so I guess it doesn't stack. Also, get it through that lightning trap. So that should work out pretty well. And the next map is 10 million, oh my goodness. Increasing difficulty. I guess the difficulty part is that we can't place the blocks down, but we can work with that, especially having double income. So already we have a 5 that can go right in line there. Now we're getting into some interesting mazes, instead of the ones of our own creation. And it is nice to have, you know, money numbers that we can actually do. So already we have 3 balls in the field, and might as well just get that money to times 3, because that works even better. We haven't even done anything with the crit chances yet. And then if we can work our way up to the 7, then the ball can come down here and then up through that bonus, which the bonus is working super well. I just wish there was more than one entrance that the balls came from, but we do what we can. And it is also funny to have these just sticking right into the pipe there because it just triggers the thing anyway. Although there's no bonuses attached to it, so it's not really worth it. So another 5 that can go right there, thankfully, but we might as well make this into a 6. Although it seems like sometimes this doesn't get the double bonus from the X on the ground there, so maybe we should move these down past it. That seems to work better. Now let's get this to 10% and then this to, oh, just about 5%. And I really don't see a benefit to the ball speed just because it doesn't increase very much and the price goes up tremendously. But we can get another ball in the field. and then a few more pieces to merge, because we are right about to get a 7, which hopefully happens in a short amount of time because the pieces are already getting expensive again. At least it's not you're making twice as much so you pay twice as much kind of thing, but we get enough things there, and then a 7 block could actually go where that 4 is. But we'll hold off on that for now until we can get one more 6, because I want to leave one of those where they're at. So 5 and then another 6, and then we swap these around. So now the 4 is bouncing the ball up through this bonus square, so we are using both of them. Very good. It's just that the bonus doesn't last super long anymore because of the distance, which seems to pucker out right in this square. So right before the 4, that's too bad. But now there's only a few places that these 3s or 2s can go, but thankfully they still get the double bonus. And thankfully this ball income also accounts for the laser zapper, or the zappy things. So we can make that to ×4, and that pays off pretty well. So the 7's already earning 1,000 on the crits, and the crits plus the triple is earning way more than that. It's just a shame that now we're at the point the blocks are getting crazy expensive. And the only spot that this 2 can really go anymore is right here. Unless we merge it, we might as well merge it, because that's better. But there really isn't a point to merging it yet to a 4 until we can get to a 5, because if we made another 4 we couldn't use it. Although we do kind of get some money for the ball bouncing in the wrong space, but at least now we can combine all the way to 4, and then might as well get rid of these 3s to a 5 that can go right next to this bonus here. There we go. And then is it really worth putting it through that thing? We could probably put it through that laser trap as well. That works just as good. And then we can also get a 3 up here. So thanks to limitations of the board, we have a much more appreciative maze. And because that X is closer to where the balls are going, then this 3 can still get the ×2 every time. And the 2 up here can do that as well. So we have big surge of money down here and then littler surge up here. But also, if we got this ball income to ×5, then the X's would make it ×10, which would get us money way sooner. It just now takes 100 and maybe like 200,000 something, or it's only going up by 0.2 each time, so it's still 3 upgrades away. But at least the crit chance is still relatively cheap, so that's basically 15%. But every little bit makes sure we get to the target number faster, which 10 million is quite a bit. But if we get a good enough maze, then it should be relatively easy to get there. It's just the process of getting there that's painful. Now I'm just kind of wondering where one of those 8s with the double flippers would fit into this. We would probably have to like super condense it around here and just focus on the blocks instead of the laser traps. But we're not quite there yet, although we can get close. Or we could just get there right now, honestly. But let's see, in that case we would need this guy here, and then we make the 8 like so. So what we would need to do is get it to hit the X here, which it is hitting this one, but it's in such an awkward spot. So if we sent the balls through like this, then it's getting the ×2 bonus before it hits the 8, but it's only using 1 flipper. And this also isn't earning us money nearly as fast. Well, it kind of is. The 8 block is earning 1,000 on its own before crits, and the big one almost earns 10,000. Okay, that's pretty good, I think, for right now anyway. But we're missing that top left corner angle block for like all the things that I want to do with this setup, because now we're not even utilizing this other X here. It's kind of funny but also sad how much of the maze goes away when you bring in the 8 block like this. But maybe since the ball speed is so cheap, I guess now we can afford it to bring it up 15%. Whether that's really noticeable is another thing. I guess we could just send balls back the way they came, although it just feels weird to do that. And bring in ball number 5, and this 4 block doesn't even collect money if it doesn't bounce off of it correctly. So that's even more tragic. But we need the 4 here to get it through this. But this setup is still able to help us get to 1 million pretty quickly. Way quicker than before, that's for sure. Although it still is a much longer period of time before we even get 10 million for the next map. And I'll be honest, this maze isn't nearly as effective. I still think the best thing is having like the 8 right here, and it's to the point that you can't even see it. That still seems like the best course of making lots of money. So half the time the 8 gets the ×2 and half the time it doesn't. At least everything can be here to make lots of money. So I guess the most effective maze is the quickest one. But I think that's where we're gonna end things for this. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, be sure to let me know. Thank you for watching, and sub to Intern. I'd also like to thank the channel members, including Bread, Corby Farm, Dakota, Donamoto, DeviantX, Ancient Elixir, Matthew, Hateful Harold, Peggy Sue, Dribblelong, Lily, The Mire Within, Dagarity, Sans, Isaac, V, Killer Squad, Mousy Mouse, and Nicholas.